Hey there YouTube, it's Dan Strong with Excel VBA is Fun. Today we have a question from a gentleman named David, and he says, hey, I've seen your easement video and I'm trying to increment not just the digits, but I want to increment based on several criteria with like let's say MLCMC0 or CO0001, and then I want the next one with these different criteria to be 0002, but based off of whatever is the preceding text before the number. So let's check out what he's got so far. Hit Alt F11 and let's open up his user form right here. So his user form is right here. It's probably a little big. Just for this example, I'm going to shrink everything down a little bit. But you may want to enlarge it again for whatever reason. Shrink it down so we can keep it on the page. There we go. So I'm going to hit F5, or you can click the green arrow right there to run the user form. F5. Let's see what's going on here. So purchased or manufactured. If it's purchased, well, let's do purchased and stack and steel. So you see P is the first letter, comes from the word purchased, and then STA from stack, and then ST for steel. If we clicked on copper, it would be purchased, stacked, CO for copper, and then finally 10 is TI. So it takes the first letter, first three letters, and first two letters of this word, and then it slaps 0001. What he's wanting this label to do is to search on this list sheet, the sheet called list, and he wants it to, let me scooch these closer, he wants it to basically search all of these things in column A and find which is the next one for that particular category. Alright, so we see where that name is generated from now. So now we have established that pattern. Let's dig in into the Visual Basic portion of this. So you see whenever I exit out of the user form, it puts the Visual Basic editor back here, which is, you can get there by hitting Alt F11, and he has a user form open right here under the forms. Anyway, let's dig in. This is the label. It's called label 1, and this is where the text popped up. So let's see here. So whenever this one or this one or this one changes, we want it to run this macro. So let's just make a new macro. Double click on the background here. Let's just make a new one. I'm gonna call this one sub, and then now the name of the macro, we're gonna say find next label. Find next label, hit enter, and there's your macro. So let's see here. First we need to put our pieces together. So okay, I need to figure out the labels, or the names. Combo box 1, combo box 2, combo box 3, I don't like that. Let's rename this one CMB per man, purchase or manufactured. You see, this one's going to be CMB for combo box component. That's fine, CMB component, and this will be CMB for combo box material. Now I can see, I can reference these and know what I'm talking about. So let's go back to find next label. So we need the first letter from, let's see, let's just say A for the first part. A equals the leftmost, using the left function of me.cmb per man, comma 1. We need the leftmost one letter, so the first letter, B equals left of me.cmb component, and it is actually the first three letters of that one. And C, the third component, equals the leftmost of me.cmb material, and that is the leftmost two characters. So let's put it all together. So the prefix equals A ampersand B ampersand C, and we need to make that uppercase, I suppose. And I notice that prefix capitalizes itself, so that may be something that is native to VBA that we need to not name it that. How about my name? That's easy enough, right? And then we'll surround this in parentheses because we're going to use the upper function. Or are we? Is it upper? No. Ucase. Uppercase is what that stands for. Ucase will capitalize all these and make it uppercase. Then we have established this. So double click on that. We're going to go back here, and on whenever this combo box is changed, we're going to call upon that macro that we just worked on. Double click on your user form. So now we'll double click on the CMB component, and whenever that changes, we'll call that macro up. And finally, whenever this one is changed, we will also call upon that macro. So this way, either way, when any of them are changed, we'll get that working here. And here it is. So let's put a stop marker right there. Now the first thing I am eyeballing is, what if this one or this one or this one is empty and it hasn't been clicked on yet? Well, then we just want this to be blank. We don't want to worry about it. So let's do that now. Let's say if me.cmb component equals blank, or me.cmb, whatever this is blank, or me.cmb material equals blank. And blank is just double quotes. If any of those conditions are met, then exit sub, so don't run the rest of the code. And of course an end to our if statement, end if. But if it can pass that, then it'll get to right here. So it'll only get to right here as long as none of these are blank. So let's try it. Oh. Alright, so we did a naughty thing here. We changed the names of these. So me.cmb, the first one is this one, second one is this one, third one is this one. Okay, hit F5. Here we are. Okay, purchased. You notice nothing ran, right? LCM, and let's use copper. Now it runs because all three of these are no longer blank. Purchased LCM and whatever, copper. Okay, so A is the leftmost one character, which is the letter P. Let's hit F8. Yes, and this is the leftmost three characters, which is all of it, LCM, and this is the leftmost two of the word copper, so it'll be CO. Now we're going to ucase, we're going to capitalize P and LCM and CO, capitalize it, and it'll go to this variable called my name. So it's PLCMCO. So that's the my name thing. Now we need to do a loop through these and simply find the largest number that follows that. So what we need to do is get the last row and then create our loop. So last row equals this workbook dot sheets, and it's called list dot cells And you may want to look up my video on how to find the last row or the last column. That's pretty useful information. You want to memorize how to do that, so it'll just flow. That's our last row on that sheet. So let's actually go ahead and go here and hit F8. Looks like LR equal dot row, and there, it's row 11, and we can see to the left here that that is correct. So now we do our for loop for x equals 1 all the way to 11, and of course next x is in order. Now what happens between 1 and 11 each time is what you type in here. So let's see here. Let's see. I really ought to declare that sheet, shouldn't I? Dim WS as worksheet and set WS equals to this workbook.sheets list. Okay, so now we can use WS for that. In fact, we'll do that here just for good practice. And we'll say ws.cells x, row x of course, comma 1, column 1. And we're going to say if that cell right there on that worksheet. Well, how many characters is this right here? Whoops. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say if the leftmost 6 characters is equal to my name, then stop. End if. So let's run this loop now. Oops. Now I have to set the worksheet. Okay, now we're good. Row 11 for x is 1 to 11. So if the left of that first one, the first 6 is the same as this, PLCMCO. No, it's not. In fact, none of them are. So let's just, let's see, MLCMST. Oh, looks like we found some. Okay, good. MLCMST, yeah. Right here. So these are equal. Then we need to consider whatever the number is. So we're going to find the last number that applies. Okay. Let's take the rightmost 4 digits of that particular cell. Let's say the last number is equal to the right of that string or number, comma 4, so it's the last 4. And I'm assuming these are all going in order. Whichever is the last one you landed on will be your last number. So let's see, last number equals 0001. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to try to throw this thing a curveball here. Let's go ahead and close that one. So let's say this one is actually 5. This one was 4. This one was, no. We'll do them in order. Whatever. Anyway, what we should find is that It'll end on the MLCMST. The last number was 5 for that particular brand and all this. So hit Alt F11. Let's load up our user form and see if we can get to that conclusion. So we need to load manufactured, LCM, and steel. Looks like ST. Okay, we're here. We really want to get is to here. So hit F5. So the first one is we're going to find that last number. The last number is 0001. Let's go to the next one. It's same one. 0002. 0001. See, 4. Okay, and finally 5. And then that should be the last one we were left with, because as we loop through, the next one is not steel, it's copper. So it should skip over that one, and last num is still 0005, okay? So once we get through our loop, once we're done with our final row, we'll be here. So let's put a stop marker and hit F5. Okay, we've stopped. We see the last number stopped with 0005. So we want to add one more, and that will be where our label is. And we're done. So let's see. Last num equals last num plus 1. So we're adding 1. I can already foresee a problem with this. It's not a big issue, but see how it's 6 instead of 0006? Let's do this. Let's just say format this string here, and we'll format it with this current format. 000 number. So it'll have zeros. At least 3 leading zeros until they're no longer needed. So let's try this. Last num equals blah blah blah. Format all this crap. So it should be 0006. Oops, we incremented it again. Okay, let's see what it did there. Well, let's pretend that was right, because if we redo it, it'll be fine. In fact, I'll do this and this, and we'll redo it in just a second. And then finally, we need to say that me.label1 equals, so first it needs to say my name, and we need to join that with the last number that we have just acquired. So that would be MLCMST0007. And then that's what we could use on the user form to slap on. When you hit submit, just slap it right here. I think that's all he wants. Let's see if he already set up the submit button. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he did. I'm going to comment out that because I don't know what that macro does. Let's see. It should plop it right there. And it did. Cool, I think we fixed it. Alright, so now I think after we click the submit button, it really needs to run this label code again, because then it should be 8 at that point. So let's fix that. On the submit button, we're going to say to call whatever the heck that was called. What was that macro called earlier? Oh, come on. What did I do with it? find next label. Here it is. Sorry. Okay. So on the submit button at the very end, we just need to call that so we'll get the accurate number. Let's try it. This is exciting. So we know ML, so manufactured, LCM, and if I click on copper, you know what, I'm going to comment that out too because I'm pretty sure we're good to go. The copper is going to be 0002 because there's an 0001 already there. If I click on steel, it's going to say, see, well, now what have I done? Well, back to the drawing board, eh? Manufactured, purchased. It's like it's ignoring column 12 here. ML, CM, ST. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what happened just then. Oh my god. I did not. Okay, I put for x equals 1 to 11. Maybe you caught me. I don't know. Hopefully you caught me. It should have been for x equals 1 to LR. Make it dynamic. See whatever the last row is. Not 1 to 11, because it stopped right there. If it went from 1 to whatever the last row is, which is dynamic, updating every time, it would have found that 8 would have been the correct number. Alright, we're fixed now. Let's see, we need to do manufactured LCM, and if I hit steel, it will say that hit a 5. It'll say that number 8 is the number that we need. If I hit the down button, down to 10, we don't even have number 1. If I have copper, steel is 8. Stack. Alright, so check this out. I'm going to hit submit. And now it says 2. Now it says 3. Let's do a copper one. 2, 3, 4. Let's go back to steel with the LCM. Oh, now it's 9. Now it's 10. How about purchased? Bloop, 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 bloop. And back to our original one. There we go. So you can see over here it's working. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching and God bless, guys.